Judge Johann Kriegler, who joins us to talk about the story. Judge, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Pleasure to have you with us. It's a pleasure to have you with us. So what do you make of the importance around this issue regarding Robert McBride? And this is a man who's incredibly influential, of course, and he's fighting to keep his job, but there's so much criticism against him.
I don't want to get involved in the litigation and the legal arguments. What I do know is that McBride has done an outstanding job. He is no doubt a contentious figure. I think you need a contentious figure in that job. You need somebody with his courage, with his fierce independence. He's put together a fine team. Whether he gets appointed or is entitled to be appointed or not, I do not know. But that it would be a great pity if he were not reappointed, that I do know.
So what do you make of this decision or this proposal that McBride's contract not be renewed? As you say, you need a man of his character and his contention to be in a position like this. What's your take on the non-renewal, possible non-renewal?
You know, I'd like to tie it in with Sona that I was privileged to attend on Thursday night. The President promised us a lot of things, and one of the promises that rang a particular bell with me, and I think with most South Africans, is the restoration of the confidence in the criminal justice system. And crucial to that is confidence in the SAPS, the police service, and for absolute confidence in the police service, you've got to have confidence in this watchdog that was appointed for the very purpose of giving us confidence in the police.
Do you think this watchdog mechanism, IPID, has worked over the years?
It's human. It's therefore fallible. But that in conception it is right, there's no doubt at all. That there should be a watchdog, no doubt at all. That the watchdog is not perfect and sometimes will make mistakes or sometimes will not hit its target perfectly, inevitable. But that they've done a darn fine job the last couple of years and put themselves in confrontation with some pretty bad people in the police.
And that's what they should be doing.
That's exactly what they should be doing. And the mere fact that he's got enemies within the police, I think, shows that the man has been doing his job as the appointment originally envisaged.
So this ongoing discussion around not renewing the contract, if as you suggest, Robert McBride is the right person, Kriegler still deciding not to renew, do you see this as a bad decision by Kriegler?
You know, I'm reluctant to criticize. I haven't got all of the facts. So, in fact, I have none of the facts that the minister has. But I do believe that the image that is created is vitally important. And I am disappointed. And if I am disappointed, I'm sure there are millions of other South Africans who are disappointed at seeing a guy who seemed to have been doing the job and seemed to be ruffling feathers in doing that job is now being kicked out, or well, certainly not having his contract renewed.
So if this obviously is going to come before the courts, Judge, and the decision to renew his contract is not in his favour as far as Robert McBride is concerned, how do you then imagine someone as important as Robert McBride and Minister Kriegler, if they were forced to work together, how effective can they possibly be?
I believe that any professionals can work with one another. If you're truly dedicated to the job, or you're truly dedicated to your oath of office, if you do have one, if you're dedicated to the job that you undertook, you can work with anybody. You're not working with a person, you're working with the incumbent of a post. I've worked with many people over many years whom I didn't love or like, or for whom I had very little affection. That's irrelevant. You do the job because you've got to do the job with other people who've got to do the job. I think Kriegler and Robert McBride can both get on with one another. I'm not even sure that there's personal animosity. I've read it, I've heard it, but whether it is in fact so, I don't know.
There does, unfortunately, I want to not perhaps use the word pattern, Judge, but as part of the package we just heard from Laurent Temba, it was back in 2015 that he challenged that decision by former police minister, Johann Kriegler, to suspend him. He's clearly butted heads with the head of the SAPS on a number of occasions. Now, either he's ruffling the right feathers or he is perhaps barking up the wrong tree.
Robert McBride has never been top of the pops. He's not popular. He's not supposed to be popular. He's not supposed to be a nice guy. He's the tough guy. He is the tough cop on the cops. Maybe he's ruffled feathers. Good for him. May he continue to ruffle them.
If he loses this when it goes to court, Judge, final question to you. If he loses this, how damaging do you think this will be to IPID? Becky earlier thinking or saying that it won't bring IPID to a grinding halt. Do you think it's going to?
No, I don't think it would in itself bring IPID to a grinding halt. I think it's a potential handicap, perhaps a brilliant new appointment, fresh appointment that nobody has thought about, could restore confidence in the process. But at this stage, it does not look good.
Judge, thank you so very much for coming in to speak to us. What a huge pleasure to have you on the show here on Newsnight this evening. That is Judge Johann Kriegler joining us here on Newsnight. If you missed